In this video, we will discuss the concept of constitutional morality. This concept has been widely used in the year 2018 by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. So, what is constitutional morality? What is Victorian morality? What is public morality or social morality? What are the important features of constitutional morality? How Supreme Court applied this doctrine in various judgments and to strike down some unconstitutional provisions we will discuss. So the first of all, what is constitutional morality? The definitions have been given. This constitutional morality concept is there from the beginning, but it is prominent from the judgment of Manoj Narula. It is 2014 judgment regarding appointing some persons as ministers who are having criminal antecedents or criminal cases against them. That has been challenged by an advocate in PIL. So, while discussing the importance of the constitutional functionaries, institutions, and to maintain some certain standards, the Supreme Court has taken help of this theory of constitutional morality. So, by applying this theory, the Supreme Court held that all public functionaries and politics should have some ethics. In that way, Supreme Court has given a definition regarding constitutional morality. The principles of constitutional morality basically means what? It bow down to the norms of the Constitution and not to act in a manner which would become violative of the rule of law or reflectable of action in an arbitrary manner. So, number one is bow down. It should surrender to the norms of the Constitution. Constitutional morality means every individual, every institution should bow down, should surrender, should accept the norms of the Constitution. That is the first thing. The second is not to act in a manner which would become violative of rule of law. So, by the action, no one should violate rule of law and should not act arbitrary. That is the definition of the Manoj Narula case. This definition has been widened in government of NCT versus that means Delhi cases. Delhi Lieutenant Governor and democratic government. There was a dispute between a Lieutenant Governor and a democratic elected government regarding powers. In that case, one definition has been given. In a strict sense, strict and complete adherence to the constitutional principles. Strict and complete adherence to the constitutional principles as enshrined in various segments of the document. Which document? Constitution document. So, what principles? Strict and complete adherence for constitutional principles in the entire segment, various segments. It is a pillar stone of good governance. So, strict and complete adherence. Stick to the rules of the Constitution. Stick to the principles of the Constitution. That is called Constitution morality. In the same judgment, it says that inherent elements, the morality which has inherent elements in the constitutional norms and the conscience of the Constitution. So, which morality has the inherent elements of the Constitution and conscience of the Constitution? That morality is called Constitution morality. So, there is another meaning. Not only allegiance to the substantive provisions and principles of the Constitution. Constitution morality means not only, that doesn't mean not only allegiance, faith to the substantive provisions and principles. Then what? A constitutional culture which each individual in a democracy must imbibe. So, constitutional morality signifies a constitutional culture which each individual in a democracy must imbibe. This is the definitions. So, basing on these four definitions, what we can draw? We can draw a conclusion that follow strictly, sincerely the constitutional principles, binding constitutional norms is called constitutional morality. So, in each and every functions, particularly highest functionaries. So, what it is anathema to the arbitrariness, anathema to the individual whims and fancies. Just because we got power, just because we are holding a highest constitutional functionary, we should not have any discretion to act as our wishes, as our whims and fancies. We should be controlled, we should be governed by the principles of the Constitution. That is the meaning of the constitutional morality. So, in Manoj Narula case, to say that political leaders and constitutional functionaries should have some morals, particularly constitutional moral, this theory has been taken into help. Okay, now in another cases, you take in 2018, Manoj Narula is 2014. 2018 popular judgments are there. That is, one is Indian Young Association versus State of Indian Young Lawyers Association versus State of Kerala. That is Sabarimala Temple case. And also Navate Singh Johar case. That is section 377, unnatural sexual offense case. 377. So, in these two cases, and this Government of National Capital Territory case 2018, these three cases are 2018 only. So, the concept of constitutional morality has been discussed widely. In 377 case, that is a Navtaj Singh Johar case, other moralities have been discussed. So, what is other moralities? Victorian morality. Victorian morality means that morality which has been in existence in Queen Victoria time, that is 1837 to 19 something. So, during her time, some moralities are there. Those are primarily basing on Christianity. So, in those Victorian morality, 377, the background of the enacting section 377 is that Victorian morality. The woman should be very strict in the sexual aspects. So purity, chastity, such things are there. So in that background, this section 377 has been drafted. So it should give away, Victorian morality should give way to the constitution morality. That is the uh, give way. That is the language used in that judgment. And again, this constitutional morality is soul of the constitution. The judgment had this constitutional morality is soul of the constitution, is to be found in preamble of the constitution and part 3 of the constitution. Where is this constitutional morality? Where it is located? It is located in part 3 and preamble of the constitution. So that is the judgment. Particularly in part 3, which assures the dignity of the individual. Those provisions which assures the dignity of the individual, that is called constitution morality. So it is there in constitution and preamble and part 3. So this is the judgment. And the important features of the constitutional morality also discussed in that judgment. Particularly, it is having some virtues. The constitutional morality is having some virtues. What are those virtues? The foremost thing in that virtue is espousal of a pluralistic and inclusive society. Espousal of a pluralistic and inclusive society. Meaning, what is this meaning? To support, to adapt a pluralistic and inclusive. Pluralistic means we have to give respect to the diversity, diverse society. So, to give support and to adapt a diverse society and inclusive society, all diverse people should be included in our society. All varieties of people, all varieties of culture people has to be included. So the one of the principle of the virtue of the constitutional morality is this one. The second one is it urges the organs of the state. The constitutional morality urges the organs of the state, including judiciary. It demands it requests the state organs of the state, including judiciary, to preserve the heterogeneous nature of the society. So, heterogeneous nature of the society should be preserved. That is the demand of the constitutional morality. And it says to curb any attempt by the majority to usurp the rights of and freedoms of a smaller or minuscule section of the populace. So, because majority is having some opinion, majority is having some notion, it should not prevail, it should not force. Others also should have that opinion. The minorities also should have that notion, should have that culture. It curbs the constitutional morality, curbs that type of attack on minority views and minuscule sections views. And the judgment says constitutional morality cannot be martyred at the altar of the social morality. So, in the name of social morality, so because of majority people are having this feeling, because of public is having, majority of the public is having that notion, that feeling of moral, others also should have that, is not correct. So it should not be martyred at the altar of the social morality. So, why these things have come in the judgment of the section 377, that is Navadeh Singh's Johar, whether having this unnatural sex, that is homosexual, is uh, making criminalization of that sex is correct, constitutional or unconstitutional. They are having very few sections of the very few people of the society having that such of sexual orientation. So, because majority people is having a different orientation, you cannot find fault with the minuscule sections orientation. So, to say that the Supreme Court has been taken help of this concept of constitutional morality. So, the veil of social morality cannot be used to violate fundamental rights of even a single individual. The veil, the curtain, the veil of the social morality should not be used to curtail to violate for even a single individual's right also should not be curtailed. And the constitutional morality foundation rests upon recognition of diversity that pervades the society. It recognizes the diversity that pervades the society. So the entire uh, society in Indian culture, Indian society, diversity is there. That diversity has been recognized by the theory of constitutional morality. So this is the uh, explanation given in that judgment. So constitutional morality can be applied by the Supreme Court to give effect to the rights, among others, of discrete and insular minorities. As per Justice R.F. Nariman, the theory can be applied for what? For the purpose of what? To give effect to the rights, among others, of discrete and minorities. So, to protect their rights, to give effect their rights, Supreme Court can take whose rights? Discrete and insular minorities. So, next, it has given the difference between public morality and constitutional morality. Public morality means under a regime of public morality, the conduct of society is determined by popular perception existing in the society. Popular perception means majority views. Perception is having by the majority people. So the conduct of society determined. Conduct of society will be determined by that views, that perceptions. So continues of certain symbols, label, names or body shapes determine the notions, sentiments and mental attitude of the people towards individuals and things. So these body shapes and symbols, labels, uh, these are the factors to decide the public morality, popular perception. But the constitutional morality is not like that. The mental attitude towards individuals issues by the text and spirit of the Constitution. So, constitutional morality determines the mental attitude towards individuals and issues by the text and spirit of the Constitution. So, it takes the help of the text and spirit of the Constitution to determine the mental attitude. That is constitutional morality. That is difference. So only taking the help of symbols, labels, names, or body shapes, it determines the notions in public morality. But text and spirit determines the constitutional mental attitude in constitutional morality. That is the difference. And then rights of an individual ought not to be prejudiced by popular notions of society. That is the important. The rights of the individual ought not to be prejudiced by popular notions. Because of it is a popular thing, you should also have that you should not have also that popular perception. You may have a different perception, even as an individual, single individual. That is the concept. It assumes that citizens would respect the vision of the framers of the constitution and would conduct themselves in a way which further. So this is difference between public morality and constitutional morality. Then what is the duty of the constitutional courts? Duty of the constitutional courts is uphold the cherished principles of the constitution and not to be remotely guided by majoritarian view or popular perception. So you take the help of constitutional morality to decide a thing, not the popular perception. The court has to be guided by the conception of constitutional morality and not by the social morality. The social morality is synonym to public morality. It is a different word. Whenever constitutional courts come across a situation of transgression or dereliction in the sphere of fundamental rights, particularly, which are also the basic human rights of a section, howsoever small part of the society, then it is for the constitutional courts to ensure with the aid of judicial engagement and creativity that constitutional morality prevails over social morality. So particularly when a situation arises regarding transgression or dereliction in the sphere of fundamental rights. So when situation of violation of fundamental rights or transgression or attacking of fundamental rights of a particular a small, howsoever small it is, that part of the societies has come to the notice of the court, it should take the aid of judicial engagement and creativity and constitutional morality should prevail over the social morality. These are the important ratios held in Navatej Singh Johar judgment. Even in 2023, Advocate on Record exams, a question paper, first question is regarding what are this Navatej Singh Johar judgment? What are the reasons? What are the grounds to deliver that judgment to struck down Section 377? So, in one of the important ground that has been taken by the Supreme Court to struck down Section 377 is the concept, the doctrine of constitutional morality. So this is important. In regarding this Indian Employers Association case also, uh, this constitutional morality doctrine has been taken into help. There, uh, what held uh, exclusionary practices are contrary to the constitutional morality. So, exclusionary practices, because the constitutional morality theory says it is support the pluralistic and inclusive society. So, it says everybody should be included in our society. So, if it excludes, these practices are contrary to this morality. Claim for the exclusion of women from religious worship, even if it be founded in religious text, is subordinate to the constitutional values of liberty, dignity, and equality. So, even religious texts are also subordinate to liberty, dignity, constitutional morality. So, notions of public order, morality, and health cannot be used as a colorable device to restrict the freedom of to freely practice religion and discriminate against women of the age group 10 to 15 years, denying them their legal rights. So, because of public order, because of morality and health, these are colorable devices. What is the meaning of colorable devices? These are another devices to suppress, to use as a device to suppress the legal rights. That is called colorable devices. So it should not be allowed. And individual dignity cannot be allowed to be subordinate to the morality of the mob. This is very important here. In the Sabarimala case, the important ratio is that individual dignity cannot be allowed to be subordinate to morality of the mob because of some few majority people, some mob is having some different perception. Individual dignity should not be uh, allowed to subordinate, should not vary in accordance with popular passions of the day. So, overreaching sense of constitutional morality with the quest for human dignity, liberty, and equality must prevail. So, here, overreaching sense of constitutional morality should prevail. For what? With the quest of human dignity, liberty, equality. For that purpose, this overreaching sense of constitutional morality should prevail. So, this is the important ratio held in Sabarimala case. Of course, Justice Indu Malhotra has taken a different view. Constitutional morality in a pluralistic society and secular polity would reflect that the followers of various sects have the freedom to practice their faith in accordance with the tenets of their religion. So, according to her, this constitutional morality uh, should allow the followers of various sects have the freedom to practice their faith in accordance with the tenets of their religion. So that is the uh, ratio given in a dissent judgment by Justice Hindu Malhotra. So the ultimately, what is the uh, purpose and purport of the constitutional morality is constitutional morality meaning strict and complete adherence to the norms of the constitution by even highest functionaries and all citizens also. We must have a culture, constitutional culture. We must imbibe that culture. That is the we must bow down. We must surrender to the simply thing is we must abide to the principles of the constitution. You see, fundamental duties 51A. What it says, we should abide to the constitution and its ideals. So all citizens of India should have the same courtesy towards our constitution. From there, this constitutional morality of concept has been arisen. And the thing is, it underscores the ethics in politics. Dr. Ambedkar expressed in Constitution Assembly that in India, democracy is a top dressing one. Essentially, it is an undemocratic institution. You see the exact words. Democracy in India is only a top dressing on an Indian soil, which is essentially undemocratic. Constitutional morality is not a natural sentiment. Constitutional morality means the top to bottom, all ranks of the Indian citizenries, all highest functionaries should have the morality, should have the culture, should have the respect towards constitutional norms. You see nowadays what is happening in all highest function government, highest functionaries, constitutional functionaries, not acting in accordance with the constitution. principles, constitutional principles. You take the governors issue. In several states, governors are not acting in accordance with this constitutional morality. They should not have any partiality towards the elected governments. They should abide by their provisions of constitutions and their duties, but they are acting differently. That's why Supreme Court is interfering in several state governors' actions in not giving assent to the bills in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Punjab. So, like several other states are not according to the spirit of their uh, duties enshrined in the constitution. So, if in the same way, speakers, while deciding the disqualification petitions of MLAs because of change of political parties, shifting political parties illegally, in those things also, speakers are not acting. That's why Supreme Court is interfering like this. So all highest functionaries, if all highest functionaries of constitution have this constitutional morality, this type of problems would not arise. So this is the concept of constitutional uh, morality, and it is having so many uh, features. If there is no constitutional morality, what happened? What happened? How, no matter how carefully written, how carefully you write the constitution, if there is no constitutional morality, it tends to become only a arbitrary, erratic, and capricious. So nothing will be worked out. How best the constitution you have you write, that is not the matter. People should have constitutional morality, particularly legislatures, judges, lawyers, ministers, civil servants, writers, and public intellectuals should have that constitutional morality. If there is no such constitutional morality in this type of people, what happens? Constitution becomes a plaything of power brokers. A plaything of power brokers. Just constitution become a plaything of power. This is written by some scholar, and uh, it is the duty of the constitutional morality. What it says, it checks, it prevents institutions from turning tyrannical, arbitrary. So it prevents this turning these institutions as tyrannical institutions. It checks the state power. So this is another duty feature of the constitution morality. And it underscores, the constitutional morality underscores the ethics of politics in a country. It gives politics the identity to succeed. So these are the important aspects relating to constitutional morality. So Victorian morality we have seen, public morality we have seen, what is constitutional morality we have seen, how it applied in various judgments. In criminal antecedents, politicians regarding that, it has given a different view. Not different view. Basically, constitutional morality means good governance. So, binding of the uh, norms. So, it applied in that context. It applied this in the Sabarmala context, and now to Singh Johar cases. So, this is the constitutional morality.